These recommendations were made during 48th GST Council meeting. As regards goods, there are changes in GST rates. Husk of pulses, including chilka, and concentrates, including chuni, churi, kanda. GST rate was 5%. It was changed to nil. Then ethyl alcohol supplied to refineries for blending with motor spirit, commonly known as petrol, changed from 18% to 5%, and also to include supply of mentha arvensis under reverse charge mechanism, and also to clarify that rub or rub salawat is classified under CTH 1702 and attracts GST at the rate 18%. Fryams manufactured using process of extrusion is specifically covered under CTH 190-59030 and attracts GST at the rate of 18%. Higher rate of compensation cess of 22% is applicable for motor vehicles fulfilling all the conditions to qualify it as SUV. For SUVs, a higher rate of compensation cess of 22% will be applicable. SUVs has engine capacity exceeding 1500 cc, length exceeding 4000 mm and a ground clearance of 170 mm or above. Then goods falling in lower category of 5% under Schedule 1 of Notification number 1/2017 CTR imported for petroleum operations will attract lower rate of 5% and rate of 12% will be applicable only when general rate is more than 12%. As regards services, no GST will be payable in case of renting of residential dwelling. If the residential dwelling is being rented to a registered person and the registered person is using for his or her own residence, only for residential purpose and not on his own account and not on account of his business, then only GST will be exempted in case of residential dwelling. Then incentive paid to bank by central government under the scheme of promotion of RuPay, debit cards and low value BHIM or UPI transactions, they are in the nature of subsidy, so it is not taxable under GST. Some decriminalization under GST measures has been recommended. First one is to raise the minimum threshold of tax amount for launching prosecution under GST. It is increased from rupees 1 crore to rupees 2 crores, except in case where the offence consists of issuance of invoice without supplying goods or services or both. Then second one is reduce the compounding amount from present range of 50 to 150% of tax amount to the range of 25% to 100%. Then decriminalizing certain offences specified under clause G, J and K of subsection 1 of section 132 of CGST Act 2017. They are obstruction or preventing of any officer in discharging their duties, then deliberate tampering of material evidence, and last one is failure to supply the information. Another recommendation which is made is refund to unregistered person. As of now, there is no procedure to claim refund of tax which is borne by unregistered persons in case where the contract or agreement for supply of services like construction of flat or house and long-term insurance policy, these are being cancelled. These contracts are being cancelled and time period of issuance of credit note by the concerned supplier is being expired. In that case, there was no procedure to claim the refund of tax borne by the unregistered buyers. Now the Council has recommended amendment in CGST Rules 2017 along with issuance of a circular to prescribe the procedure for filing application of refund by unregistered persons, unregistered buyers in such cases. And the next recommendation, facility of e-commerce for micro enterprises. In GST Council meeting for the preceding GST Council meeting, which is 47th GST Council meeting, it has been granted in principle approval for allowing unregistered suppliers and composition taxpayers to make intrastate supply of goods through e-commerce operators subject to certain conditions. Now the Council approved the amendments in GST Act and GST rules along with the issuance of relevant notifications to enable the same. And also considering the time required for developing the required functionality in the GST portal and also providing sufficient time for the preparedness of the electronic commerce operators, the Council has recommended that the scheme may be implemented with effect from 1st October 2023. As you all already know that Para 7, Para 8A and Para 8B were inserted in Schedule 3 to the CGST Act 2017 with effect from 1st February 2019 for keeping certain transactions or activities such as supply of goods from a place outside the taxable territory to another place which is also outside the taxable territory, then high sea sales, and last supply of warehoused goods before their home clearance. They are made outside the purview of GST. In order to remove the doubts regarding taxability of those transactions or activities during the period from 1st July 2017 to 31st January 2019, the Council has recommended to make these aforesaid paragraphs effective from 1st July 2017, but no refund of tax will be available in case where tax has already been paid in respect of those transactions or activities during the period from 1st July 2017 to 31st January 2019. Another recommendation made by the Council, the recommendation made by Council is that Council has recommended to amend Sub-Rule 1 of Rule 37 of CGST Rules 2017 retrospectively with effect from 1st October 2022 for providing reversal of input tax credit in terms of second provision of Section 16 of CGST Act. Here, the reversal of input tax credit can be made only proportion to those amount not paid to the supplier, including the amount paid to the supplier includes value of supply and tax payable. The proportionate amount which is being not paid to supplier on that proportionate amount input tax credit can be reversed. For the rest of the amount, there is no need to reverse the input tax credit. Then the next recommendation is that to insert Rule 37A in CGST Rules 2017 to prescribe the mechanism of reversal of input tax credit by a registered person in the event of non-payment of tax by supplier by a specified date, and also to re-avail the input tax credit if the supplier pays the tax subsequently. So it will make the process of complying with the condition of availing the input tax credit under section 16 subsection 2 of the CGST Act 2017. It will make this process easy. Then the next recommendation is that Sub-Rule 3 of Rule 108 and Rule 109 of the CGST Rules 2017 is to be amended to provide clarity on the requirement of submission of certain copy of the order appealed against and issuance of final acknowledgement by the appellate authority. This will facilitate timely processing of appeals and ease of compliance burden for the appellants. Then Rule 109C and Form GST APL 1/3W, it is being inserted in the CGST Rules 2017 for providing the facility of withdrawal of an application for appeal up to a certain specified stage. It will help in reducing litigations at the level of appellate authorities. Then certain circulars are needed to be issued, and the Council has recommended to issue circular to clarify that no claim bonus offered by insurance companies to the insured is an admissible deduction to value insurance services. For that, a circular need to be issued. Then circular need to be issued for clarifying the issue of treatment of statutory dues under GST law in respect of taxpayers with whom proceedings have been finalized under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016, Rule 161 of CGST Rules 2017 and Form GST DRC 25. It is also being amended to facilitate the same. A circular need to be issued for clarifying the issues pertaining to place of supply of services, of transportation of goods in terms of provision to the subsection 8 of section 12 of the IGST Act 2017 and availability of input tax credit to recipient of such supply. And also it is being recommended that section 12 subsection 8 of IGST Act may be omitted. Then the next recommendation is that Sub-Rule 3 of Rule 12 of the CGST Rules 2017 is to be amended to provide facility to registered persons who are required to collect tax at source under section 52 or deduct tax at source under section 51 of CGST Act 2017 for cancellation of the registration on their request. Some circulars needed to be issued, and it is being recommended by GST Council to remove the ambiguity and legal disputes on various issues such as procedure for verification of input tax credit in cases involving difference in input tax credit availed in Form GSTR 3B and which is available as per Form GSTR 2A during the financial years 2017-18 and 2018-19. Second one is clarifying the manner of redetermination of demand in terms of subsection 2 of section 75 of the CGST Act 2017. The last one is clarification in respect of applicability of e-invoicing with respect to an entity. Some measures has been taken for streamlining the compliances in GST. First one is that a proposal has been made to conduct a pilot implementation in the state of Gujarat for biometric based Aadhaar authentication and also risk based physical verification of registration applicants. Amendments in Rule 8 and Rule 9 of the CGST Rules 2017, it is being made to facilitate the same. So this will help in tackling the problems of fake and fraudulent registrations. Second one is PAN linked mobile number and email address. It is being fetched from CBDT database. It is being captured and recorded in Form GST RAG 01 and OTP based verification to be conducted at the time of registration on such a PAN linked mobile number and email address to restrict misuse of PAN of a person without the knowledge of such PAN holder. Then next one is that Section 37, 39 and 44 as well as 52 of CGST Act 2017, it is being amended to restrict filing of returns or statements to a maximum period of 3 years from the date of filing of relevant returns or statements. Then the next one is that Form GSTR 1 is to be amended to provide reporting of details of supplies made through the e-commerce operators covered under Section 52 and as well as Section 9 subsection 5 of CGST Act 2017 by the supplier, and also reporting by the e-commerce operators in respect of supplies made under Section 9 subsection 5 of the CGST Act 2017. Then Rule 88C and Form DRC 01B is to be inserted in CGST Rules 2017 for intimating the taxpayer by the common portal about the difference between liability reported by the taxpayer in Form GSTR 1 as well as Form GSTR 3B for a tax period. Difference between tax liability in Form GSTR 1 and Form GSTR 3B for a tax period, and if the difference exceeds a specified amount or percentage, for enabling the taxpayer either to pay the differential liability or explain the difference why the difference is there. The taxpayer has the facility to explain the difference. And also Clause D is to be inserted in Sub-Rule 6 of Rule 59 of the CGST Rules 2017 to restrict furnishing of Form GSTR 1 for a subsequent period if taxpayer has neither deposited the differential liability or the taxpayer has not furnished the reply explaining the reasons of the differential amount. If the taxpayer has not done these things, the taxpayer cannot file Form GSTR 1 for the subsequent period. This will facilitate taxpayers to pay the differential amount or explain the reasons for the difference in such liabilities reported by them without the intervention of the tax officers. Also, amendment in definition of non-taxable online recipient under Section 2, Subsection 6 of IGST Act 2017 and definition of online information and database access or retrieval services, which is commonly known as OIDAR services, under Section 2, Subsection 17 of IGST Act 2017 to reduce the interpretation issues and litigation on taxation of OIDAR services. If you like the video, please like, comment and share the video. For more updates, please subscribe to our channel. For further notifications, please press the bell icon. Thank you.